perfect long time stun. DP support's coming in from X-Nova, but how much can he really do to help out? Charles taking so much damage. Miracle in his body, block him up with the illusions of Kuro, even while he's being harassed by X-Nova. And Liquid go 2 on the board. Charles sniped both times. But hey, still 13 retaliate.
He's actually going to walk top. He's not even TPing to get to the tower.
Are they thinking that Liquid will change the lanes on him, or?
Maybe he's keeping his options open, and also just, since the wave is not accessible right now anyway, he would only probably be getting deny experience. So maybe he feels like it's not worth it. He's going to walk up here, and it gives them a bit more rotation potential since they already TP'd X-Nova top. If they also TP Chalice, Liquid can basically do whatever they want with the lanes. So they're keeping it safe in case of adjustments.
Up how Kuro is now chasing the Spirit. It's like, I know where he's going to be. Marana, stay with me. Centaur's going to come as well. Disruption up on top. Somnus, yeah, he's going after Weeha. The arrow is tanked up by Charles up on the top lane, so X-Nova protected by that Centaur.
Somnus really wants to go for the kill. He put in a lot of damage into Weeha. He's going to homing missile him now. He could just dive him here. I think Weeha's dead.
Yeah, he's got second level rocket barrage. Weeha's going to... Oh, he tried the fairy fire, but it will not be enough. Somnus brings him down and really underestimates the damage from the gyro.
That's so big for Somnus too. He's playing against a hero who got first blood. It's innately unfavorable to start off this lane, but now he's ahead.
This just never ends. The easiest combination of Liquid's life. They'll take Chalice once again, but we're starting to reach the point of diminishing returns. He's 0 for 3 on this Centaur, not a single CS, 2.5 minutes in, and this time he TPs out to the lane.
Yeah, because this time there's immediate experience in the tower, and they're pulling with Elder Titan. When you're playing an aggro tri-lane kill lane like this, you need to get multiple kills to make it worth it. Because you are sharing the experience among 3 heroes, and in the meantime, this bottom lane Spectre is having a good time together with Rubik. But now they've swapped it around. They don't want to stay at 3 anymore. I think this is a good time to swap things out for Liquid. But it also means that now Chalice will have a very easy time. Shadow Demon Void, what are they going to do to you as Centaur? You're just going to free farm now in this lane.
Yeah,
but they slowed him down.
Without the Marana arrow stun, there really isn't that much you can do against him. But they needed to bring something down here. Arme was just getting free farmed. And FY, always a dangerous thing. FY's Rubik is just, it's insane without farm. It's incredible with farm. I don't know if that's really an upgrade in descriptive words.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But it's just cool, anyway.
It's cool with any farm.
Yeah.
Mind Control taking some big damage bottom. He has no regen left. GH can give him a tango, but Mind Control will either die or need to use the courier in the long run down here. So they can keep harassing him out, especially when FY finds level 3 soon. The big increase in damage on Fade Bolt ramping up. Mind Control is hoping to find a rune with the bottle that he wants to purchase at minute 4, but Amis is not going to let him get the rune.
No, the Weeha moves over and
get it. Two heroes, they want the rune, but actually Mind Control probably wouldn't have taken it regardless. He just wanted to buy his bottle. Let Weeha have the rune, but there's no rune.
Yeah,
it's double damage.
Yeah, Gyro Copy grabbed that one from top river. Mind Control still ready to find on bottom. It's not the biggest combination. It's a level 2 on the tree throw. The arrow is able to connect over on Arme. So some chip damage, but you've still got Arme with 6 stick charges and the healing salve. Even if you feel like you're getting a lot of damage in, this is still a Spectre.
Yeah, they're not killing in this lane without an extra hero coming in. He's going to use his 10 sticks just to be able to build up more, get full value out of these sticks already.
Stuns coming out on top lane. Kuro getting a lot of damage. Charles with the great hooks off. X-Nova's got that plus 43 damage. And the captain of Team Liquid, Barry fires up, tries to make a break towards the tree line, but it won't work. Turns instead for the catcher to actually help out Miracle. If you get a couple more bashes, Chalice may be in trouble, but all this is happening while the 5-minute rune's going on, and Mind Control dies down in the bottom lane. FY and Arme comboing together.
Oh, I know LGD are going to get 4 runes too, Toby. This is a huge win for them. All 4 runes, Chalice survived, and they got 2 kills. LGD just came back in this game in a big way. Came back, it's like they were behind. I mean, it's even, but they took a lead, rather.
Yeah, it was about 800 was the net worth, 5 minutes in, that Liquid was able to ensure, but yeah, with the kill and the runes, it swings the way of LGD. Same for the experience.
Currently 4 wards on the courier for LGD. Flying out. Might drop them on FY here and let him make a little bit of a movement with smoke. They're not going to smoke. Maybe yes, maybe no. Nope, not smoking.
I was actually wondering about the movement from LGD. Like, how confident are you that you don't need to really stay on top of Weeha? He's been pulling back. Like, he had one stack that he was able to farm up. They're now prepping another set for him, but Weeha, we saw what he did yesterday. It was global presence, an uncatchable global presence.
In this game, it's catchable.
Look at him go. Gyro's just moving over. It's like, wait, I'm fairly certain there was meant to be a Tinker here, but Tinker's moved back to the mid lane.
Good defensive ward from Kuro, placed there on the around the top rune. So they do realize the movement's coming and they back out. But Somnus still has haste for a little bit. Okay, I thought he was maybe even thinking about diving, but he's gonna try to get denies. We'll get a couple by the looks of it.
Means Kuro's going to protect the stacks now, keeping the ET away, and puts a 1-1 lane up on top.
But yeah, I'm not sure how much you have to invade the Tinker here. You don't want to give him complete free farm, but considering he's already been solo killed by maybe mid, we've already slowed him down that good amount. And if you let him farm some jungle, in comparison to the game we saw from him yesterday on Tinker, this time he has just flat out has a worse matchup. Spectre is one of the classic hard counters to Tinker. Can always find him and get on top of him. And if Spectre finds Tinker, you can follow up. That's the whole power of this lineup. You have Stampede to get heroes in range. You have the Elder Titan Spirit that can get on top of Tinker as well and stomp him. Just plenty of problems this game for Weeha, even if he has a good game.
Great vision being planted down by Kuro. You said defensive ward that was able to protect the Tinker from being ganked up by the Somnus rotation. Now his observed ward watches FY coming to the mid. It won't see the smoke of X-Nova as well as Somnus, as once again they move in.
Don't want to get Miracle. Stampede is coming online. This is the perfect timing for this move. And they're also going to use the opportunity to place a deep lane ward top, but it looks like Miracle realizes something fishy here.
GH is coming around the back lines. Miracle has Chronosphere available. X-Nova caught on the wrong side of the tracks. The arrow will connect. Miracle just needs a couple of hits. And down goes X-Nova. They back out of the fight. Somnus is already back over in mid lane, where FY is trying to get his level 6.
They're probably going to be anticipating that some vision must have been placed by LGD here when they smoke the ET and the Gyro in together. But they have no idea which ward it is. There's multiple pings coming out from Liquid. Is it this one? Is it this one? And they might check the real one last.
They're going top. Invis rune from Somnus wants to go to work. Miracle just time walks himself away. Somnus will see this, but coming into the tier 1 tower isn't something they want to do. As Weeha can now finally take these stacks with rearm and a level 3 march to the machines. To start to move his net worth up the field. He was the only, oh geez, there's 3 heroes above 3k and he wants to join them, just able to do so.
And Liquid are going to give Kuro some space mid, and FY is going to take space from LGD. Both supports looking to get these levels. And this is the danger when you play these tri-lanes in the start, even if it was only for 3 or 4 minutes. Kuro's level 3 minute 9. GH is level 5.5, so that's good. But on LGD's side, it's kind of similar. X-Nova has mainly been stacking and moving around toward, so also pretty low on those levels. Whereas FY is looking at a level 6 in mid, so pretty even across the board overall on levels.
That's a lot of stacks they've prepared inside the jungle. Have they got enough to clear through this with Arme?
I'm gonna say no.
With 2 points dispersion, there's only, like, the second point in flat cannon just came into Somnus too. Dangerous prospect to leave that up if, like, we would even feel remotely confident to move across the river. But Arme will get through one of them.
Yeah, there's no way Weeha comes over here. If anybody does, it's the Tiny of Mind Control that could walk up and try to steal some of it. But looks like Arme can at least farm the medium camp double stack, so that's nice for him. The hard camp double stack will kill him right now, but he might stack it one more time before the 10-minute mark, maybe stick around for the shrine, but no, he's going to go all the way back to base. Maybe try to get ready to haunt for the runes, but he's actually late for that. So I think LGD will be settling for a 2-for-2 rune trade this time around instead of the 4-0 they got last time.
Yeah, unless Mind Control wants to
Control
contest it. He's looking for the avalanche. That'll create the space. X-Nova, however, still was able to pick up the bounty rune. Mind Control will get one of the charges from the bounty in bottom. Top lane's just been sitting on the edge. FY, it's looking for a nice deal. Starfall from GH will be the thing he can grab right now.
Nope, we'll take it. It's good for farming. He already has his first wave clear spell stolen now, so he can push out waves really quickly if he wants to. Does a lot of spell damage in order to get solo kills together, or well, not solo kills in that case, but combo kills together with Centaur, where he does the majority of the damage from Rubik. Now the Moonlight Shadow. Liquid They want to try to make a move, but look at how insanely good vision LGD have. All these 5 wards planted defensively, and they do see GH fading into invisibility. So they know exactly where Liquid are moving up. Gonna move into the dire jungle, but LGD have nobody there.
Liquid are trying to be a little bit sly about it, leaving the observer ward, but doesn't work with the ganks, so they get rid of the ops. Their vision is starting to time out, so fresh ones must be planted. The 2 observer wards that Liquid planted around that 6-minute mark are now starting to decay. So they've only got 1 observer ward watching near the bottom rune area. Meanwhile, LGDs are still behind between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers in mid and top lane.
Somebody's got to come and defend mid. LGD are just letting GH and Kuro, the 2 supports,
with catapult wave.
Half a tower with the catapult, almost a full one by now, and finally FY shows up. They were so scared of a rotation because of the Moonlight Shadow, I think, that Liquid used earlier, that other Liquid heroes were in the neighborhood, but not the case. They do defend the tower, but man, I think Kuro is going to be very happy with that. Going 2 supports mid and almost getting a full tier 1 11 minutes in. That's very nice.
Yeah. Wonder what LGD were like prioritizing for elsewhere. Now level 8 is up, so he's still only like, because we just throw everything into that tree throw. It's only a 2-1 combination with the avalanche toss. It's not that instant kill you kind of look for, but Arme's returned to the lane. They'll keep my control away from the tower. Trying to go for this Hand of Midas build on the spec. Understanding late game is the game for LGD.
Mid lane into Arrow.
Yeah, there's that combination. FY can't stand against it. Now ET and Somnus looking for their fight as well on mind control. He'll give it his avalanche toss once again, but 3 heroes together. No way to get out, 2 of them being the cause for LGD.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And we haven't talked about Ame's plans for items here. He's going to go the Midas that has become popular in Spectre in the last year. In the past, you would never see this item. You would always go either a Manta Diffusal build or a Radiance build, sometimes with an optional drum or optional upgraded boots on the way. As for Miracle, he has a different farming item. He's going the Maelstrom on Void, ramping up that farm nicely as well. It's a different approach. But both heroes very happy with getting these items around these timings that they've got them. Spectre clearly behind that of the Void, 1,500 gold as a matter of fact.
And they're really going on bottom lane. Stampede. Charles able to bring down Miracle. Miracle probably feeling confident enough that he could have just stomped himself away, but Charles' damage really took him by surprise.
That was very unexpected. Charles is top net worth. he was 0-3, remember? He actually got killed 3 times at the start of the game in his time zone.
And now he's the first person to crack 6,000 in the net worth.
He has recovered in a big way, and that shows, you know, when you see players like this, there are some players that get killed multiple times in lane and they get frustrated and they tilt and they lose control of the game. Chalice is just ice cold. Being able to recover like this when you get so focused is just world class.
LGD will make the most of the space. Getting that last bit of farm into the Gyrocopter, still trying to get Somnus towards that BKB of his. As long as he doesn't die towards the creeps, he'll be absolutely fine. Team Liquid adding pressure towards the mid. GH will claim that tier 1 tower.
Important that GH actually got an attack off there. That would have been a deny by FY. GH secures it. Closing in on Force Staff. His go-to build on Mirana this tournament has been Force Staff into Lotus, I think.
Chrono, here we go. Over on X Nova. The arrow will be able to connect. Miracle. It was kind of already a pretty assured kill, but he had to Chrono because Kuro wasn't in range for the disruption.
That's kind of a low-value Chrono, though. Especially right before the bounty runes. LGD, if they were ready for it, could maybe even have chosen to try to fight here. But their heroes are not able to connect top in time, so they will grab the 2 bottom runes. But absolutely defend their
disruption
now, I think.
Here we go again. They're trying to come in with the avalanche. Quick toss up. Miracle's moving over. But Spectre's already dead before he can arrive. Mind control now. That's a good value kill. And while all this is going on, Weeha's getting more and more farm. Once he gets the Blink Dagger, these side lanes, they're a lot more playable for Weeha. Probably going to be better once Spectral Horn is down, however.
Yeah, he's progressing pretty well as well. And this Ame diff is big. It actually might lose them the top tower because I think LGD might have wanted to defend this tower since there's no Chronosphere and they have really strong timing with the Centaur Dagger. But at this point, with Ame dying like this and losing control of the area, they're just gonna leave it alone, keep pressuring bottom, see how much they can get.
Loving the way they approach the towers too. X-Nova's like, I need to check the trees. Spirit in there every single time, making sure there's no hidden tinker, there's no heavy march machines, even a quick sentry ward being dropped down. No invis runes, no shenanigans. Kuro, Charles just jumps in. Mike Control just gets the back line. The arrow flies forward. It won't hit onto the hero, however. This will be LGD under the tier 2 tower with the ET splitter killing off Mind Control. And they found Weeha in the tree line. X-Nova, he's still staying close with the Stampede. They try and get closer. The face is void. They throw him back, at least get the one-man stop. But Miracle chasing down X-Nova inside the trees. FY is nearby. He actually stole RERUN out of all of this. And he'll just TP away to safety.
And RERUN and TP back out.
FY gets as close to Tinker as he possibly can.
Why is he not rearmed?
That's a very good question.
Maybe didn't think about it?
It's like, oh wait, does this work on TP scrolls? Yeah, well. Either way, LGD. That's the first real encounter we've had from the teams, apart from just these pickoffs moving from one lane to the other. Took about 16 minutes for it to happen, and the tier 2 tower almost died for it. But Liquid, it looks like they're ready to fight once more. Chronosphere is up, the Blink Dagger's on the Tiny for his initiation. Kuro also needs to get a ward mission out. He's got 5 Observer wards, just planted 1 down now. This is a full ward mission from Team Liquid.
And they're hoping to find a car as well. They might walk into Ame, they will.
Here we go, Avalanche toss to begin with, jumping forward with the Starfall, they have the damage. Spectral Hold was down, there was no escaping. Weeha moving into the tree line, away from X-Nova's stomp.
Hasted and Moonlight Shadow, that's a really hard hero to kill, and he'll get out easily.
I love where they're waiting, like Charles and X-Nova in the tree lines. They're sitting inside the trees where we've seen Weeha yesterday blink to move up the lane and get more Martial machines down the wave, but this time around, Weeha moves back to the mid lane.
These 2 kills on Spectre that Liquid have found are super important for them. Ame has... I think the second kill is more forgivable because there was an aggressive smoke into his supposedly safe part of the jungle. But the first one at the top tier 1 tower, I think he felt a little bit bad about that one because it was a relatively easy read mid lane.
Here we go again. Avalanche. It's going to be off target. Only drop charges from Somnus to trigger. He's going to use him to get aggressive on Mind Control. The homing missiles coming in as Weeha puts down the cover fire. If LGD want to come in, they're coming in double wave for Martial Machines. Miracle. He has to time walk himself away. Defensive disruption. Kuro able to save him from the ET splitter while Mind Control gets up on the high ground, removes that aggressive vision that FI was trying to get down, so LGD had some information for this fight. And they're ready to go again. Mind Control. We have seen Tiny time and time again clear a wave, get that tossed back, and force whatever team into a horrible position for a fight.
And a rare miss from GH. If that arrow hits, that should just have been a flat-out kill on Gyro, but mistakes do happen.
It's like, I don't know exactly where Kuro is going to walk. It's like it was a toss back to a target.
Yeah. It's a little bit tricky to land these. Liquid have done an excellent job lately in the lower bracket with hitting difficult spell combos and having really good timing with, for example, their Darkseers. But that one did not work out. More and more time being bought for this Spectre. You have to remember this is a Spectre that went Midas first item. So even though Spectre is this almost 2,000 gold behind Void, net worth on Spectre is insanely valuable. If you get later on in the game and he's still 2k behind the Void in 5 or 10 minutes, this gold just transforms into so much damage and tankability in the fights. And vision even, with the Haunt.
Charles has claimed the tier 2 tower on bottom lane. Liquid, as you said, like there's a lot of time wasted by LGD looking for these fights from Liquid. They're actually looking at Mind Control, who grabbed the invis rune, so FY was just stalking him in the mid lane, but it never came. And what happened? Once again, Centaur, not part of a team fight. He's down on the bottom lane, pushing it out, at least claiming the gold, and this will allow also the bounty runes to go a 2-2 split. Centaur's getting bigger and bigger. Now Vanguard completed, already got the pipe, and the Crimson's on its way.
And they're going to smoke out. S3 behind Somnus, looks like trying to set up a bait. He's going to run up to the high ground and get caught on purpose, but...
Well, Avalanche toss actually sending him back inside the banishment. Not exactly what they wanted, but the 5-second arrow will connect on Somnus. But this just allows Liquid to disengage, or does it? Stampede forward, Moonlight Shadow now burned by Team Liquid. As they turn around to come back once more, Miracle adds Chronosphere up. And they're looking for a target. They find the other Titan, perch him up with the time locks. My lord, that damage. They didn't have to burn the Chronosphere, but mind control, Avalanche toss, FY too far away, he's actually all the time on Miracle! He gets a double Chronosphere, Charles and Rubik both caught in it. Sometimes needs to create a little bit more space with the call out, he might be able to do so. Miracle, time walks back up cooldown once again. Spectral Horn jumping around, Uzi focusing on. He looked for his target, but the time walk away got Miracle away to safety, but someone's going to at least reach over towards Kuro with their flat cannon. Arrow, Charles, he doesn't care. Walks straight in front of him. But LGD, commitment did come in from Rubik to buy back for that fight.
Yep. I think you're pretty happy with that as Liquid. LGD tried to smoke into you, you repelled them. They tried to chase further, you turn around, get 2 kills and buyback forced. It's not the end of the world for LGD, of course. It was the Rubik buyback and not that of a core.
There we go. That's how fast X-Nova died. I don't even think that was a full second.
And the LGD from, the BKB from Somnus as well, being used in that. So that's a 10-second charge to only kill off the Shadow Demon.
You can see the way Team Liquid played it though. Like, okay, Kuro died, but Somnus went through that entire 10-second BKB, and like, what do you get from it? Like, how does LGD keep them in position? Spectre jumps in, like, are you cleaning off the backlines? Are you focusing down the Tinker? Tinker didn't even really feel like he had an influence in that fight.
No. When Ame came in, they had used their stuns and their initiation already. Ideally, what LGD's lineup wants to do is to be the initiators and just jump in and start the fight, and then you haunt, get vision, and play the fight according to your vision. But when it's Liquid with the high ground advantage, when it's Liquid with the Moonlight Shadow, it makes it a lot harder to use these spells correctly and find the targets you're looking for.
Here we go again.
Lane.
Avalanche toss, here's your BKB. There's the 9-second one down, but mind control. He may be the sacrifice. Kuro's going to give him a little bit of extra time with the disruption. He can't blink himself away from this, and mind control will fall. The Purge, any kind of disruption, not able to do it. Now Stampede in, Chalice, they're looking towards Kuro, 2 of them together, they can't break free. Kuro, he definitely is the sacrifice. He can throw out at least a catcher. But now look towards mid as Weeha jumping after Ame. Rearmed, does he want to keep the pressure on? No, he doesn't. Just control the mid lane. He's down 2 heroes, and this is where Liquid got a lot of strength last time they played the Tinker on this main stage. They bought time. Even when a fight doesn't go their way, instantly Weeha's pressuring the other lanes.
And that's why the Spectre pick is so important, because are you actually buying time for a win condition in this game? Is this favoring you to play like this?
It kind of feels like it when you've got the Tiny and the Void together. Like the volley into Chronosphere, you can still win those high ground fights.
The volley might be the X factor in this game, because if you look at these lineups from before the new Ags, I would say Dire going late game, they will be happy to do so against this team. But with all this new damage coming out from Tiny, it could be better for Liquid. I'm just a bit concerned that, yeah, sure, I mean, you're delaying the game, but you're also not taking any towers. You're not putting additional pressure on the map, because neither lineup has very good sieging whatsoever. Both teams have taken 2 towers only 24 minutes in. They can't really Roche, because both lineups are also pretty bad at that. So it's kind of just this farming game. And farming games historically are just so good for Spectre.
Yep.
Maybe Silver Edge can be a solution later. That could be something they can work around it with. But for now, I think LGD are pretty happy with their situation. So is Dota Plus, giving them 3-1, actually. Dota Plus loves Spectre.
Of course it would.
So,
but it doesn't know what we know as well. But this new combination that's just been wrecking the main stage and a little bit of the group stage of TI9. Charles is looking to try and fight, but that is not the target they want. 2.6k, they're actually going to stampede. They're not finding a target, however. All of Liquid's back. In fact, you've got Mind Control pushing in the top lane. Kuro is continuously de-warding the LGD primary jungle. And the Centaur Illusions are watching Roshan. That's it. No one else is close to any other objectives on the map.
And it's an even boundary and trade again.
And it feels like there's so much pressure on Team Liquid to hit that fantastic Chronosphere or always control the side lanes.
It's true. I think compared to other Void games we've seen from Liquid, there's a lot of pressure on Miracle in this game. I think just getting a good one-hero chrono is not going to cut it in this game. Even if you chrono the gyro or whatever, the response LGD have later, I think it's just too overpowering. Even if you can kill one core with the chrono, if if they have a buyback, they can run you down with Stampede and Haunt, and you end up not getting a favorable fight.
Do you even pop the Stampede during the Chronosphere once the Aghanim Scepter? Because the Aghanim Scepter is coming quickly. It's what's that, 2100 away from being completed on the Centaur?
You do that for Gyro. I don't know if you do it for anyone else. You might not even do it for Spectre, just because Spectre can buy back Haunt, and then you can run people down. It was one of the integral parts of OG's victory last year when they played their Spectre lineups. They just took advantage of Ana's ability to tank a lot of damage on his carry, and then if he does get killed, he can buy back and come back in. And you can't ignore that factor from the Spectre in fights. Spellsteal coming out.
He's got Time Walk again. That's a good initiation. And as we saw her escape from FY before.
And look how confident Chalice is. Maybe a bit too much here.
Disruption, catcher, the arrow is going to connect as well. Perfect stun. They're going to force off him down. That's FY hanging in the neighborhood of Miracle. It's a double Chronosphere. Mind control running with the Avalanche, but he's walked inside the Chronosphere. He's done himself up, and maybe they don't have the damage anymore. As Thomas is in the back lines, he'll end up killing Okura, the first casualty of this team fight. And the Chronosphere stolen. Of course it is. FY's playing around Weeha. He caught the big man. And maybe with the Avalanche touch from Mind control, Charles and Thomas in some trouble. Tinker gonna buy back into this fight. He knows he needs to do some more damage. Charles is still trying to go ham against Mind control. Mind control doesn't have the life for this. Maybe with a toss-up he can push Chalice away. But where is this control? You bought back Weeha, but they can't stay on top of him. LGD are all getting out of here.
They only got Somnus for that Weeha buyback.
They have to take Roshan now. They're going straight in for it. Gyro is down for 50 seconds. Mind control's gonna regen on the shrine with GH, but Miracle, he's starting this up.
Elder Titan is spawned. He's gonna go scout it out. There is no way Liquid get this. They don't have the damage. When this Elder Titan Spirit starts countering them out,
they're giving it a shot. They have the 30-second window. Time Walk away. Miracle, he'll dodge the stomp. Arme's throwing out the dagger, and now Hoofstomp forward, a 4-star from GH trying to get Kuro away to safety. He's in close. Miracle trying to storm down with a time dilation, but Kuro's already gone down. LGD's arrived, but man, Miracle's done all the hard work for him. Now Roshan, he has to be contested by LGD.
That's really bad news for Liquid. They don't have Chrono for this fight. Good arrow.
5 seconds on the arrow. It's going to maybe make LGD think twice. They need Tinker behind to put down Martian Machines inside the pit. They need some cover fire to dissuade LGD from being here. Mind control. He'll go for the avalanche shot. He didn't have information of the Roshan. He thought it was probably a lot lower. Arrow. 5 seconds again. Overrun challenge. Mind control. Another quick toss. He's got to get out there. There's the Martian Machines for Roshan. Miracle jump back in again. Roshan. He goes to the radiant. Miracle has the Aegis, the Immortal. Now trying to battle head to head with Thomas. That BKB in such a low duration. Miracle keeps getting time lock after time lock. He is the master of time. And they arrow another 5 seconds. They just keep on coming. Mind control hits the Avalanche Centaur. The Stampede on 80 AP. He'll go up the hill and blink towards the shrine. LGD, they're disengaging, but they want more. Weeha, he's blinked the top of the shrine. The chainsaws are going to be there. They're in range of the Sentry Wall. That's why they can see them inside the Moonlight Shadow FY. He's trying to take this entire team all by himself. Miracle has to stop the clock, but the Aegis will pop. So will Weeha's life. It's a side back from him. Gianna going down to FY. FY total gone. He is just dominating this game.
The presence of mind in that moment to steal Avalanche and catch 2 heroes, one of which was the Miracle Void going for the Chrono on Mind control. He went too far.
He just tried to push the lane out. He tried to create space. And LGD, they get a bonus in their gift bag.
From one insane play to the other, the Miracle Roche steal to begin with, jumping in with a BKB. He not only got the Aegis, he got the kill on Roche too. Then they keep chasing up, and FY with a huge defensive play. And you're going to see the start of it here. And the arrows from GH, if just one of these arrows miss, it's a totally different situation. But this is the opening for Miracle. Gets the kill, gets the Aegis. Does not have the Chrono yet, though. That's why Somnus will eventually get away from this and reset up to the Shrine. The 4-step from FY, buying the space into Stomp. That's the first arrow. Maybe if Miracle focused on the Centaur a little bit earlier, they could have got Chalice here. He ends up resetting too. And Weeha wants to go for that chase, doesn't find him. He rearms and blinks up. And that's the start of a disaster. Weeha going greedy here, blinking into the Shrine. Sets up for a long fight where Liquid have to come in and help. And this Avalanche steal right here, huge. Just as the Chrono comes out. I mean, it's also nice that Miracle Chrono'd the Tinker for him. I'm not gonna blame. Not gonna complain about that, FY.
I'm gonna come back to real life right now as Kuro dead again. Arme looking to bounce around the map on the back of that Spectral Haunt. Maybe a little bit sad he only was able to pick up the SD. But you talk about that net worth increase on a Spectre. He's going to be a little happier moving towards that heart. Centaur is by far. Chalice was the one. He was total trash. He was thrown out. He was a rejected Centaur. He is now 16,300 worth of net worth in this Centaur. Stampede, Crimson and Pipe. It's the disengage, it's the sustain, it's what's allowing LGD to do what they're doing and allowing FY to just be ballsy as hell.
He might be the first trash of the main event that Liquid can take out. They're actually struggling a lot in this game. And their chances, they're dwindling by the minute. The advantage is becoming way too overwhelming. How many Spectre games have we seen like this in the history of the International? When teams get this kind of a lead with Spectre, I don't even want to know what the win rate is. It's got to be absurd. So Liquid, they need to find some crazy chronos. They need to get a Silver Edge probably to deal with him later on. Or an Aghanim Scepter on Shadow Demon would also be nice to get those breaks off. Perhaps the third Roshan, if it has that when we get to that stage, if we get to that stage.
We have the Ags on Tiny though, so Liquid can focus on the simple combinations. The Faceless Void Chronosphere into the tree toss of Mind Control, and actually having Weeha doing some damage. Like, obviously, we knew he was going to blink forward. If there was one thing we took from Weeha's games yesterday, it was this brash confidence of youth that he just wanted to jump in there every single time. You push it, and the rest of Liquid come with him. The same kind of way that Anna does it for OG, but in that part of the fight, like, yeah, Miracle could not find the perfect chrono.
Don't click Spectre yet. How much health do you think it has?
I'm going to go like 3.5. Just feeling that.
3,720 health
Close.
with the dispersion.
It's almost the price is right.
You can chrono this Spectre and have Tiny and Tinker do everything perfectly, and Ame still doesn't die. You need Soul Catcher. So Kuro has to be involved in these plays to kill off the Spec. I know I'm talking about the Spectre a lot, but I just feel like the hero, whenever it's in a game like this, it just deserves so much attention with how the games and generally play out. And even though he didn't have the perfect start, Ame's in a great spot right now. Worth highlighting too, Somnus went Dagger on Gyro. The idea here is you haunt, and the moment you see Tinker, he's going to jump straight on top of him with this Gyro and blow him up. Weeha, until he has this BKB, which he can afford now, but then not at buyback, will just get blown up by Gyro. He's going to solo him if he gets vision. So plenty of problems to solve here for Liquid.
They have damage issues. It's able to penetrate the resistance of LGD. They have the inability to do full global. Xnova is actually just camping in the trees in the bottom lane. He's put down a Tinker, both a Server and a Sentry Wall. There's no shenanigans. The BKB has arrived now for Weeha. And here's the TP forward. Xnova, he knows Weeha's here. It's the same type of movement that Weeha's done time and time again on his Tinker. Up the trees, push the wave. And LGD smoked up, but they're not ready to go just yet. It feels like Xnova's not enough to work with the Spectre just to get that straight up kill.
They might have gone for it if Weeha didn't have BKB. But I think Xnova clicked Weeha when he came in. He called the BKB out. If you haunt for that, Weeha's going to BKB TP out. Oh, maybe he's still hunting for him here.
They're looking for Tiny. He's tree tossing from the trees, but he blinks into the wave. Homing Missile chasing Mind Control, and maybe with a hook stop, and they stampede forward. Homing Missile will connect. And Tiny, well, FY stole 3 volleys. It's not the greatest thing to steal from Rubik.
He's trying. They didn't get him. Weeha outplaying him there and getting away. But you can clearly see what the game plan is. Xnova, you're hunting Tinker. We go as a 3-man unit, hunt somebody else, and Spectre farm. You can connect with either of the plays that we find on the map. And Liquid's game plan is, let's not fight. They are...
I think they might.
So far, they've just been avoiding moves for a couple of minutes now. With Chrono ready, they just don't want to take these fights. They don't feel favored.
They see Centaur in the bottom lane. The arrow's going to fly just shy of Somnus, but the Chrono... Miracle! Thought for a moment it was going to be a second too late.
Well, at least he didn't cast it.
Uh-huh. They cannot afford to have such a huge ability go on cooldown. Even though like, it's a 2-minute cooldown, he's not going the Ags. It's a Satanic style build for Miracle. But he's got a long way to jump with that plus 500 time walk cast range. They're able to get that initiation. The question is always though, can the rest of Liquid keep up with him? I don't think he'll actually need that long cast range in a bit because LGD, how long is it until they want to come high ground? I keep my eye on Roshan. He may respawn in about a minute.
Yeah, they're definitely not high grounding without Aegis. And I think they might give it to Gyro, honestly. Even though Spectre is the centerpiece of the lineup toward the later portions of the game, having an Aegis on Gyro Spectre can always buy back and haunt back in, and Gyro can then start sieging the base as well with the Aghanims coming up as his next item.
Yeah, how weird is it to actually see that coming up as like your, well, it's your third major item outside the blink of the drums.
Yeah, exactly. This feels like the first Gyro game we've seen at the main event where he does not go Aghs just like first main item. Maybe you'll get a drum first, but then we've seen Aghs pretty much every single game. But Somnus adapting to the game, prioritized getting the early BKB, feeling like that was going to be a timing for Liquid that he had to be able to get them across so they could get to the state in the game. It's been excellent choice. His BKB has actually been extremely important when you look at how these team fights have gone. He would not have done the same with an Aghs.
The time is about to come up on Roshan, and it's 144.
5.2k health.
My lord.
5.2k health, Pipe Magic Resistance, Crimson Guard Physical Reduction.
And then he's going to go Shiva on top of that, and he's already cut himself, what was that, 8+15 armor?
Well, the good news is
He's in range of blast.
Soul Capture deals 2,000 damage now on him.
That's terrific, and maybe if you can kill him, you can even get yourself an illusion of him, and he can fight against you.
Yep.
That was the one thing. Kuro, even though he's like he's been ripped on levels. He's the lowest level of the field. Still's like, no, I'm going to get an illusion out of this. I'm going to put a catcher down. We're going to find kills. Moonlight Shadow once again. Miracle just wants to initiate. They have a great observer and sentry down. They see Somnus. They see a huge target as well. Oh, no, they see nothing anymore. They'll have to go towards the top lane. Great mana style, time dilation, arm main, Stampede will get him away. And the rest of LGD, they're thinking if they want to fight. The arrow was thrown out by GH for a little bit of a quick scout, and they still know they're in the trees. But look at this presence from LGD. They understand they need to get the vision. Here we go. Miracle. He jumps in. Homing missile's going to come his way. He's going to BKB instantly. FY. Going to jump himself away as quick as he possibly can with a time walk stall. And he just moves away from the BKB Miracle. And the hostile catching Kuro on the backline with the spectral haunt. Kuro instantly explodes. Mind control GH want to get the hell out of here. Miracle is now the time to actually Chronosphere. The homing missiles are coming in. They're surrounded on all sides, trying to TP away to safety. Tiny's waiting this one out. Inside the pocket ball. The Starfall will come down. Mind control cancels on the TP because FY gets in range for the telekinesis grab. They've already taken GH. Mind control will do as much damage as he can before death. But LGD, they were the ones meant to be initiated on that fight. But Liquid, they never saw the opportunity, or they never wanted to take it.
They found the worst possible target. They found an Elder Titan completely on his own. They can't.
Oh, Somnus on that! He's gonna go down! Miracle trying to Chrono to save his life. Somnus protected by the BKB. Miracle needs lock and a lock and a lock, and he'll bring down Somnus. A huge streak to end.
100 gold.
He's rich. He's glorious.
Is top net worth? No.
He at least buys the Aghanim Scepter so he doesn't lose any money, but LGD are taking Roshan. What have you even got, team? They can't contest this. Murano might be able to TP out to try and throw an arrow, but it's already too late. Roshan at 1,500, now 0. It's all LGD, and FY! He jumps up, he goes towards GH. Sentry Wolf, Vision, they have done. GH is gonna go down for a minute. Miracle, he jumped forward towards the front line too. He's looking for a kill of his own, but what's he got? FY! He actually just turns them around. Miracle triggers the strike. BKB TP's away to safety. Kuro, he does not want to die again. 8 is enough for the moment, but I think it might be a 9. He's moving back towards the base. Mind control needs to create a little bit of extra space as LGD think about coming up. Chalice, he won't just think about it. He'll do it now with the volley. Chalice, we'll see how much he can take or take. A hell of a lot. Sleep actually put him down. There was no volley. A double hookster, a double edge, and they'll just keep going ham underneath the tier 3s towards the tier 4s. If they kill the Void, he'll have to fight back. If they want to defend this top lane of Brax, Liquid, they're on the burning ropes right now. Weehar is doing everything he can to slow down this push. But LGD, they look like immortals. The thing they really want to claim to.
Looks like Liquid are just going to concede these barracks. This Void buyback is way too important. It's more important than the barracks. There's no mid lane for them to take yet because the tier 2 is still there.
They're trying.
So LGD will back
Are they?
Okay.
Avalanche, can they toss him back over? There's already a pickup. FY's got the range, he's got the arrow, and mind control connected on all fronts. And when the hostile GH jumps in a little too deep, the laser couldn't protect him. Chalice finds that kill. 5.3k HP on this Centaur.
This
is that point when cheese actually isn't a good thing to have on a Centaur because it doesn't do enough.
It's still better on him than the Spectre because of the Aegis, but he might pass over the cheese to Somnus. It's a possible play to swap that over instead of the drum. They're going to do exactly that.
Team Liquid are giving everything they've got, but LGD is just really starting to work for them. Well, I say really starting to. It's been working for a while for them. The golden experience graph ever since the 20-minute mark, it was so close. And everything is LGD's way. Charles, his team is so far away from him. FY's back at the tier 2 tower. And Charles, I guess, fine.
Hey, you want an arrow? Here's an arrow for Somnus. Charles is going to dodge it, so it hits the gyro in the back. But yeah, Liquid, you've got to flip your high ground now. I think any fight taken outside of base is inherently unfavorable right now. There's Aegis and cheese, there's buybacks.
Spectre goes for the bottom lane. Kuro is going to stop a copy. Toss under the tier 4 towers. But it's Chalice. He's in so deep. The Stampede being used defensively. The lasers and rockets. Any kind of spam they can get from range. Can they get another pickup? Mind control tosses off cooldown right now. The arrow flies forward. It won't connect on anybody. They're all a little bit too short. As the high ground defense, kind of difficult for mind control. There's not a lot of trees to use inside your base unless you're playing on the side lanes.
Yep. It's very, very true. And that is problematic. Any fight around the mid lane makes tree volley almost impossible for him to use inside the base. Top, bottom, there's more options because you have the tree line in the bottom of the map. I want to point out too how LGD are playing the map. They're playing this really aggressive 4-man bottom. The Centaur was semi-diving mid and got kind of caught when he got tossed. Then he still gets out with Stampede. The whole time, Somnus is farming jungle. They know they have this complete grip on the map. They're just maximizing profits.
That's a good interest rate. LGD. Taking forever. Like, okay, Ame is, come on, man. Like, he needs a little bit of extra help here. It's only a minute and a half to bring down a shrine. Tink is pushing out the lanes in the meantime. Trying to find that burst damage with refreshed Aegon. No, we are careful, careful, careful. He's got Blink available. He's going to go for, okay. A Blink and TP away to safety. Ame feeling he's there. Spectral daggers through the trees. He's already gone for the negative 10-second cooldown timer on that, so he's totally fine. Hit the 25 with a +6 dispersion.
Arrow.
Yep, able to connect, but then again,
stolen out.
Chalice jumps himself forward. The defensive disruption actually going to dodge all the abilities and the Stomp Sleep, allowing Miracle just to time walk himself away. And they really, Chalice is like, please, please, hit me. I want it. The arrow, a little bit too late. The current speed does come down, combining with the Voltage. Mind control from inside the tree line. They get through the Centaur. That's one upside for them. And tossing back the Spectre under the tier 3 towers with another avalanche. They keep the control over on Ame. X-Nova wants to put them to sleep and create a little bit more space.
Arrow.
Yeah, they get another one.
Take this out.
Ame's waiting without the Aegis. He actually gets his regeneration burn off as well, but the hand, the flag cannon, gyrocopter, hits Kuro down hard, put him on the time dilation with a laser. Someone's come attack, the Dagon, and Liquid are doing it. They're breaking through the heroes. Rubik as well. You can Dagon yourself, Tinker, but now with the treetops, one more flying out. FY, 49 HP is getting away. The arrow's too far off too. The shadow poison, will that clip him? It does, but he's got 100 HP. Got a low swap up and a glimmer cape as well. They're trying to find him. FY playing underneath his own vision. Weehar's here, but he sees nothing. Now he'll see the Rubik. They got him down. And Team Liquid, they fight back for the first time in 20 minutes to their advantage against LGD.
That was an incredible hold. The way they started off on the Centaur, Chalice walks in. Soulcatcher is the reason they can still win this game. It really feels like it. They need to Soulcatcher the Centaur and just take him down. During the capture, they get the chrono off, they get the kill. It's gonna force out a buyback from FY.
Liquid, how much do you really want to take here? Tinker's taking care of your side lanes. There's no Spectral Horn for 32 seconds. Ame can TP back if he needs to. For the moment, he's waiting for the 45-minute bounty race. He doesn't even want to be here for this. They're trying to get the cash in. Centaur's 8 seconds away from buyback. They at least get the fortification, Liquid, but they won't get much more. But they get space. A thing that Tinker definitely wants, but you've still got that ticking time bomb of Spectre. Ame, He's got Nullifier completed as well, so there's an instant control if LGD fight on their terms.
If Liquid win this game, it will be the first time ever on the main stage of TI that 100% game has been swung. Dota Plus gave LGD 100% chance to win. It's obviously rounded up, but
we say 99.999 recurring, of course.
This is a game where you have to understand just how far Liquid are behind and how exactly things need to pan out for them to be able to win fights. And that one defense was the start of what could be one of the greatest comebacks of all time if they managed to do it.
Oh, Sam, don't you jinx it. Don't you jinx it on that one. We'd love to see games of that type of quality, but LGD, they're starting to itemize very strongly. Charles is looking towards a BKB. He feels like he needs a little bit more than just the Shiva's Guard. He's switched up his item build. The courier will bring it out to him, more than likely. A Bloodthorn build. Now the new build as well from Somnus. He went for the Basher. He'll have to switch out his phase boost in order to get this.
I like the switch up from Chalice. He changed away from Shiva's Guard. He was considering Shiva, but now he's going BKB. Oh, he's now switching to AC.
Okay.
I like that one. Because I feel like they need a solution to the Soul Catch. They have a Lotus Orb on FY. What else do they have? Is that the only Dispel they have? I mean, it's enough if he's in range, right? If he's there to save the Centaur, he should be okay.
But it's going to be difficult. And I'm also wondering how LGD continue to do damage. You're talking about, like, how, well, crap a lot of the building damage is. You're getting an Aghanim Scepter build coming in for Weeha. This is gonna bounce. And LGD, they're gonna have a hard time actually inflicting damage in the fight. Arrow will fly in, will hit onto the illusion of the Gyrocopter, but Roshan is up. It's a Refresher Shard inside of this Roshan. No Aghanim's upgrade. But in this game, it feels like Refresher Shard is just the bread and butter for every team.
Yeah, it's huge. 2 Chronos, or 2 Stampedes, or 2 Haunts. Whichever one you prefer. It's a really big grab for either team.
Team Liquid have the Observer and Sentry up on the hill. They're going to smoke up. They see Somnus. They'd love to go on him. Chance is right behind him. Here's your Avalanche toss, but then Somnus moves away. Chance! He holds up the backline. He's almost killed Guru. In fact, he has done so. Mind control so long as well. Somnus down the Chronosphere and caught the Gyrocopter, but Miracle. He has to kill him in here. Arrow's flying in with the ETs, but a Miracle can't finish the job. He can't get the damage out. Buyback's already come in from Tiny. The Moonlight Shadow. They're trying to escape. GH needs the Sentry Ward. FY's wanting to stick around with him while the rest of LGD run forward. They're chasing Miracle. The homing missile is after him. GH has finally gone down to FY. Weeha's already pushing out the lane. He doesn't want anything to do with this. But with these deaths, do you feel confident enough now, LGD, to go in for Roshan?
I think you do. You have the Manta already again on Ame. It's the primary way of killing Roche. There's even an Arcane Rune for him, so the cooldown is super short. He's going to use it now and get to work. And you were talking about damage focus for LGD. There's a couple of solutions for them. Ame's getting close to a Bloodthorn. Somnus. Somnus buying this Basher is actually pretty genius for 2 reasons. First of all, obviously, you know, if he gets on top of someone and can bash, it can be the difference between a kill and a death, but it's also stunning Miracle while he's chronoed because of the side gunner. I think he got 1 Basher proc in that last Chronosphere. And, you know, it's 1.5 seconds.
Oh, Miracle. What are you doing here? Time walk away. As quick as he possibly can, but Somnus has a blink dagger, and now Miracle, BKB versus BKB, no Chronosphere Relic right at the side. Miracle will just time walk off the damage, but TV out, he's gone, FY! He catches him, and Miracle has got another time walk available, but the stun's the back from Somnus is able to connect. Miracle's down, he can reset the count with a buyback. Chalice is already at the tier 3 towers, but he's kind of by himself. A very, very deep in, catcher in person. Weeha needs a little bit more damage to bring him down. Arrow's flying well off target. Charles is dropping low. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. He just wants to claim this tier 3 tower by himself. He's consumed the Aghanim Scepter to free up the space. Ame will complete by killing off the tower. Refresher Shard, Nullifier, Spectral Horn, everything's going to be up for Ame in just a second.
And this time, I don't think Miracle can hold the buyback.
Kuro's indeed. Goes for the destruction. One shot trying to give him a little bit more time. The arrow is going to be soaked up by the illusion. Kuro's dead. No buyback available for him. The melee ranks are taken. Ame going out near the bottom. Weeha wants to stay on it, but do they have enough? Mind control. Blinks off cooldown in just a second. He throws out the volley. The spectral dagger. The push is just too fast away. Here comes Chalice once again. Hey, would you mind giving me a charge? They gave him 1.
And Liquid Looks like they held, but it cost a Void buyback, it cost a Shadow Demon life, and it cost a mid laner Rax.
They also down the melee racks up on top, so both top as well as middle are crippled for the moment.
And there's 4 bounties going the way of LGD, and they still have Aegis and Refresher Shard. The cheese is on Rubik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he needs the mana right now, it seems. Still building into the side.
And this is not the ideal hero for them to have the Aegis on the Centaur. You'd probably rather have it on the Gyro, but it also at the same time means that Chalice can siege. If he has stacks on Retaliate, he can run in and hit this tower, and it's going to force Liquid to respond. But you kind of don't want to go on him, but you have to. He just hits too hard with 13 stacks of Retaliate.
Mind Control needs these trees to respawn. He doesn't have anything to work with. The arrow flies forward. Chalice kind of probably wished he took that. Spectre's using illusions and herself to push in the top lane. Spectral Haunt will get it to the front lines no matter what. So this is just side lane pressure being applied against Team Liquid. Chalice with the Aegis passed a long way in. I love the leap, getting him deep underneath the tier 4 towers. They're trying to break free him, and maybe they have enough with the volley as well. Mind Control, here he's got trees to work with. They break the Aegis Immortal. Armate him very deep, also into the tier 4 towers. All 3 homing missiles to connect on Faceless Void. Fortifications buying time for Team Liquid. Even the creep wave is standing its ground. Chronosphere, you can see Miracle. He's trying to get closer. They have Sentry wards down, however. They see him, and in Chronos, the backline, the Gyrocopter dying quickly. Vision disruption. Are you kidding me? FY is just creating so much space to allow Thompson to rip into Team Liquid. 2 on the big pause down the solid corner. Why not? FY. That's the game. Everyone's going down, and no one's getting up from this. LGD, they have just punched themselves. Game 1 win against Team Liquid. They'll do it the old-fashioned way. Liquid are making it work for it. And there it is, GG. LGD in 52 minutes are able to fight up against Liquid.
Dude, that was so fucking good. So good.
Oh.
What a great